All right, here we go. I think you're still muted, Dan.
I am, yeah. We've just been jamming out to the music. Doom, 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 doom. Do you like that music? Oh, this is giving kisses. This is Mercedes, by the way. This is our dog. Mercedes, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. The good girl. All right, she's ready to go down. Oh, so Zach, you've been busting away all day today. Thank you for doing a couple of Facebook lives. Man, we've got a big system coming in, guys. This is a big one.
Yeah, for sure. And we just did the newscast. It was a late night because the Daytona 500 got delayed by about 2 hours. So it's a late night live. It's 11:58 p.m. We've got me, meteorologist Zach Gilday, and chief meteorologist Dan Scoff. And I made a snow map, and we might, Dan, have to be increasing those totals.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, here's the deal. We'll go ahead and show the snow map right away here, Zach. You can pop it up. We'll pop it up full. I've been looking at a lot of models. The NAM, I think, is too little. It's not enough. And I think the reason for that is it's showing, first of all, breaks in the precipitation that really aren't going to be happening. Yeah. So 3 to 5 might be on the low end, farther south, but I think we need to drop that 8 to 12 down through central Benton County. And I also think we need to include northern Carroll County for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And looking at the latest graph model, we can see that the totals are going up.
Oh, even more now, the newest graph, the 0Z.
Yeah, well, actually, no, I meant to say it's a late night. I meant to say the newest NAM model.
Okay, yeah, the newest NAM. Yeah, that's gone up from what it was earlier, but it still is probably too little. So yeah, Boone County is going to get some snow as well. So you could show some of the snow totals and snow accumulation maps. And I think this is a good bet. I think the River Valley gets less, but there's also the potential that there could be more, especially freezing rain. And the NAM was a little bit farther south on the freezing rain too, as it was across like the Washitas almost.
Yeah, and I mean the NAM it did nail the last winter system pretty well, and we always say that the NAM does well with these winter cold air masses. So we're going to have to see because previous model run snowfall totals were not that much. This most recent run, it kind of increased a little bit, and if the next run, if it keeps on increasing, then that model trend might be onto something. But
Yeah, we're going to have to increase those numbers and increase those totals. Now, Zach, we want to show some people the timing. If you can do some of the future track.
yeah,
And by the way, I'm seeing the camera glitch on my end. Your camera every now and then it just glitches.
uh,
It's weird, but
I had to
yeah.
load it up twice.
Uh, okay,
But
but
here's the model, and here's the graph. So the graph is usually the quickest on the onset of the precipitation, and I think that's the case here. So here's 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, snowing in Berry and McDonald County. I think those counties might start as all snow, and maybe even Benton County. The graph model has been colder, but here's 2 p.m. The snow looks widespread. Could see some heavy bands, but let me go back a little bit. So when does it start? I think we're going to start to see the effects of this Tuesday morning, and it might even be the worst for some areas Tuesday morning when this freezing rain initially starts to fall.
yeah, yeah. I honestly, I'm starting to think if there is any mix in Northwest Arkansas at all, it's going to be a little bit of sleet. But I'm not even really buying that, to be honest with you. I think that this is like January 9th and 10th, where we were expecting a wintry mix, and it really didn't happen. It was just all snow. Now, that snow was a little wetter, obviously, as you know, it was a lower ratio. This is a much higher ratio because it's colder and it gets colder. Um, but I think it starts off as snow, especially in Benton County. I think Benton County starts as snow, and I think it ends as snow. I just don't see much of a mix at all. Now, Washington County might see a little bit of sleet. I noticed the NAM had a little bit of sleet that was trying to develop, and someone says that they're saying that this might be, pretty low on the totals. The reason that we're going lower right now, keep in mind, we can still increase them. But here's the NAM 3 kilometer, and you're going to see a lot of a mix because the temperature profiles are showing a little bit less for the river valley. And maybe they're a little too warm, but nevertheless, by the afternoon on Tuesday, you can forget about it. The reason my voice is so low is because I've got my son that's downstairs below me that's trying to sleep. Actually, he doesn't have school tomorrow. That's right. There is no school. There's President's Day tomorrow. So it's a holiday. But I mean, there's people that are sleeping around, and I'm upstairs. So I don't want to be super loud. Not like when I'm in the studio, you know? So that's why my voice is lower and quieter. And I don't have the expensive mic on. You got it. Yeah. But that's really the reason is because it's midnight and here I am in my home. There's people sleeping. So I don't want to be super loud. NWAC will be open tomorrow. Absolutely. If they have school. I don't know. Do colleges have school, Zach, tomorrow?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah. So yeah, the deal is I know the zero Z. This is what Josh Meyer says. He says the zero Z models showing incredible amounts. Fail scenarios are looking less and less. 2011 repeat. 2011 was a pretty incredible storm because there was so much. There was like a defamation zone that set up. There was some dry air that it had to overcome at first. I think the ratios of 2011 were a lot colder, but you got to be careful comparing major significant historic storms to the forecast. And the reason that is because they don't always pan out. So yeah. The doggy is just going nuts back there. What are you doing? Are you picking up food left and right? Come here. Come here. Ugh. Make an appearance here. What are you doing? I hear you going back and forth. Did they leave some food scraps on the table for you? So yeah, that's what. So after the snowfall, Zach, it is getting cold. Yeah, all the colleges are open tomorrow. Um, it will be good sledding. I mean, powdery snow is good sledding, that's for sure. Um, it's good cross country skiing. That's what I'm saying. I don't think we get 15 to. I don't think we get 25 to 1. I think we're going to be in the 15 range. So I think like 12 to 15. I like his picture too. King of Queens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kevin James. He's hilarious. But all right, so yeah, look at some of these temperatures here, Zach.
Yeah,
And
coming up here.
we'll show that. But so that's the future track there. Hey, can you show the snow totals of the 4 panels
Yep.
after this, since you got it loaded? So here's the the wind chills.
Here's Wednesday, just after the snow stops. Wind chills -10. Here's the morning, 4 degrees. And this is the European model, which might be overdoing things, keeping things too warm.
Well, wait till you see what it does Thursday morning. That's
Thursday
too
morning,
warm.
5.
That's super cold. That annihilates the records, man. Just
Even
destroys them.
even Friday morning still.
Yeah. So once this snow falls, people are going to be snowed in. There's going to be basically nobody's getting out. I mean, there will be stuff that will be plowed, but secondary roads that aren't plowed, they're going to be a mess. Here's your 3-day snowfall accumulation with various computer models, and we'll zip in on all of them. There really is. I mean, it's almost like a non-fail safe. I mean, now 13.8, that's a little extreme. European, that's a pretty good bet. But look at that banding that occurs um, on the um, on the European. There's some banding that looks like it's developing, and then there's the GFS, which has a lot of snow. I mean, the bullseye is Southwest Missouri, no doubt. And then look at the NAM, 8 to 11. I mean, that's a ton of snow. So every single model has snow. So it is going to snow. I don't think Evansville gets ice, Tiffany. I think Evansville and southwestern Washington County will be snow. There might be a brief period of ice, but we're talking mostly snow. Uh, yeah, Andrew, the cashew 27, you can forget about that. I don't even think I don't know if they can de-ice that when it's that cold, honestly. I don't know if de-icing works when it gets that cold. There's going to be cancellations with flights. This is Mercedes. Yeah. Yeah, you're a good dog. She's like, I'm wanting some food and some treats. Giving kisses. Yeah, it's gonna be bring the pets in for sure, Zach. Um, let's look at this energy. We should see this energy, man, coming
You
in.
can definitely see it.
Take us through your show of what you did.
All right. Well, so pretty much here, the deal is temperatures, tomorrow mid 40s. That's as warm as it's going to be for a while.
Yeah,
Okay. We're going to be seeing the high. I really think the high on Tuesday will be at midnight and then decreasing throughout the day. And the question is, when are we cold enough for snow? I think Northwest Arkansas, I do think most of Northwest Arkansas should be all snow.
yeah, I really do. It makes sense.
But River Valley maybe starting out as that wintry mix. And I was looking at some of the soundings, and there is some warmer air aloft, according to the NAM 3 kilometer.
There is some warming. But if you look at it though, Zach, I looked at the sounding and it shows sleet, but it's a snow profile.
Yeah.
Someone's watching with their two Blenheim Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, which is exactly what Mercedes is. They're the best dogs. They really are. All right, Zach. So yeah, you got the surface high that's dropping south. What is that high, by the way? Is it a 1050, 1051?
I don't know.
Yeah. Kate, that's a good idea. That is called being weather aware right here. Look at what Kate did. Oh, look at that storm. Josh, there is some similarities if you're still on here about 2011 that the storm's coming in from the northwest like it is. And so anytime it comes in from the northwest, there's just potential for more energy. School closings, I think, are definite. I really do. I think Wednesday for sure. Tuesday is iffy, but if they're smart, they'll probably not have school Tuesday because they will not be able to go the whole day without snow coming in. Look at that system. Wow, that's a lot of lift, Zach.
Yeah, it sure is.
And then it gets so cold behind it too.
You had that really cross polar flow that's going to usher in that bone chilling air. So, all right, wintry mix. I think Washington County, it might start briefly as a wintry mix, maybe a little bit of freezing rain to start, but I do really think it will quickly transition to all snow. I think Benton County might be all snow up there in Carroll, Boone, but River Valley, that's the question on how late it takes for the transition to happen. And the later the transition happens, the less the snow totals will be. But I kind of think it's going to be happening earlier. than what this model shows, which is the NAM. It's got a lot of freezing rain. It's got the wintry mix in a good part of Washington County at 1 p.m. I think that might be a bit too late. Madison County up into 4 p.m. and then all snow. Graph's a bit colder. You can see it coming in a bit earlier. So I think school on Tuesday, forget about it. It's not going to happen. Maybe even Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, just because of the cold.
Yeah, I mean, are they going to be able to get us all cleared off by Friday too? I mean, secondary roads. Here's the thing too, Zach, when people are driving on those roads, since it is a powdery snow, it'll get compacted, which will make it melt, which will, because of the friction of the tires. And the more and more people that drive on it, and the less it's treated, it'll just become sheets of ice, and it's not going to melt at all. I mean, we're going to be so cold.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, did you ever ask the 8 ball if we're going to get a foot of snow in our weather coverage area?
I did, and I believe it said ask again later.
Oh, okay. Well, it's asking again right now.
It is later right now. All right.
Here's the thing, Bradley. I know you're skeptical about it starting as a wintry mix. That's true, but you got to remember too, sometimes that 850 warm nose is underestimated. We've been burned a lot of times by it. And so there's a possibility that warm nose is not as strong, or is stronger. Always stronger than what it shows. All right, there's the 8 ball. I got something that I'm going to get real quick.
All right, so I'm going to ask it. Are we going to see a foot of snow anywhere in the coverage area on Tuesday? It says concentrate and ask again.
Got another pet here. This is Pink. Say hi, Pink. It said concentrate and ask again.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Pink is 17 years old. Yeah. Pinksies. She's pink because look at her ears. They're really pink. Yeah. She could talk too. Pink. Yeah. You think it's going to snow? Yeah. I have a raccoon. All right, I'll let her go. She's not super happy. Her ears are back. I don't think she likes the cold. No, Pink is Callie's cat, but Callie's in college, so she's always lonely up here. Yeah, it's okay, Pinksy Bearsies. Woo, she can move, man. She's quick. Pink's talking. I mean, here's the deal, Zach. Look at the banding on the European in the River Valley. So there's going to be some fine. Hold on, slow it down a little bit. There's going to be some fine scale like mesocyclone feature, not mesocyclone, mesoscale features that the models just won't pick up on. So there's a chance that this could be a major snowstorm. You know what we should look at, Zach? We should start looking at some of the probabilities. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that up while you're looking at that. This is some stuff behind the scenes.
All right, cool. Yeah, so what Dan was talking about, the banding, you can see down Russellville, down into Scott County there. That's some pretty heavy snow. That's maybe 2 to 5 inches right there. And if we see it start to band up and overperform in Northwest Arkansas, could definitely see over a foot potentially. Here's the GFS. NAM starting to come on board, showing the higher totals. So every model is showing snow, and every model is showing at least 8 inches for Benton County. The ice, I think it will be an issue, but probably considering all the snow that we're going to get, a secondary issue. But the graph shows every square inch of the coverage area getting ice. And European pretty much shows the same deal. So we got freezing rain and then snow and then cold for days. Not a good situation coming up.
Nope.
Yeah, Ryan, yeah, the models update. Well, short range models update like the ACRRR every hour, and the global models every 6 hours. And here's the cold air. And we showed you this, but if you missed the 7 day, here it is. Wait, nope, that's the app. But yeah, the app is great. And here's the 7 day. Tomorrow's a holiday, mid 40s, not too bad. Tuesday, falling temperatures throughout the day. Wintry mix going to snow. And I think we should be done by daybreak Wednesday with the precipitation, but the effects of that are going to be felt, I think, all the way through Saturday morning. I think Saturday afternoon, we should finally start to see some of that good melting. But Friday should see some melting, even though it's below freezing. The streets will warm up to above freezing. River Valley, same deal. Record lows will be shattered coming up. Major storm set to move in Tuesday.
That's good. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Major impacts. Yeah. See, that's moderate, major. Sometimes, you know what I want to look at too? I want to look at the EFI. I'm going to bring that up too. Because I think this will have the capability of overperforming.
I think this is underdone.
Yeah, that's way underdone. In my opinion, I think the last time they've updated it is, see, the Weather Service out of Tulsa was going lower on their totals because of the uncertainty, and I get it. I believe me, I get it. Now we got to go back to here because there always is that uncertainty.
Or no, it's not.
Wait a minute, 17. What are you doing? Stop that.
People are asking about blizzard warnings. Do you think there'll be one up there in Missouri?
Boy, I don't know. I haven't looked at the winds. I know that they're saying it's going to be pretty darn close.
Well, for the winter storm watch, they were saying up to 35 miles per hour. Yeah, we didn't show those yet.
Yeah, you got to show those wind gusts.
These will be updated.
In the meantime, Zach, I'm going to share screen 2. Okay. So we'll bring this up here. So this is the winter storm severity index, and this is, as you can see, moderate impacts across northwest Arkansas. But as Zach was showing this, I think that's too low. I think there's going to be major impacts. You can already starting to see it creeping into northeast Oklahoma. This is going to change multiple times tomorrow. Just a lot of times this is going to be changing. So if you'll notice, the snow amount is basically the main impact. Snow load isn't as much of a concern because it's a light, fluffy snow. There could be some minor ice accumulation in the higher elevations of the Boston Mountains, right by the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. Flash freeze isn't as much of a concern because it's going to be already below freezing. Now, here's the blowing snow. There could be some strong winds in northeast Oklahoma, and a ground blizzard obviously is after it snowed, so that's not a threat at all. So that's the experimental, and you can see, look at the major impacts too. That's a pretty large area. So southwest Missouri, it's like a given, over 8 inches of snow, no doubt, all over. I mean, they're just going to get slammed. If we look at this is the experimental winter storm outlook. And what this is showing is the probability of meeting or exceeding warning criteria. So warning criteria for us in Northwest Arkansas is 4 inches or more. So over 4 inches of snow. And you'll see that there's an over 80% chance probability because the cutoff of the snow is so uncertain. And there could be a rapid cutoff if it's more freezing, frozen precipitation, some freezing rain, and also some sleet, which will cut down on snow totals tremendously. But you see this right here. This is over 80% in Northwest Arkansas, including Benton County, Carroll County, Southwest Missouri. For some reason, there's this little computer, simulated lack right there, which seems a little silly. Freezing rain is not a concern because that's over a half inch of ice, and you're just not going to see that. So I doubt that happens. So that is the experimental winter storm outlook, and this is mainly on day 2. There's a chance that maybe a 10 to 30% chance that we get over 4 inches of snow on Wednesday alone, but I think that that's not going to come to fruition. Now, here is the probabilistic precipitation portal. So this is showing the expected amounts. We've got about 8 to 9 inches expected amounts. Now, keep in mind, the models could be higher or lower, but this is the official National Weather Service forecast. So for Fayetteville, it's only showing 3.3. Well, if you remember, this looks very similar to a map we just looked at, which would be what, Zach? The winter storm severity index. Look at that. So all those numbers of what they've done plays into the winter storm severity index. So if their totals are less, not models, but their forecast is less, then this will be less. And so if we go back to that, I think that's underdone. 3.4, that's way underdone. Even if we do get freezing rain and sleet, we have precipitation throughout Tuesday night all the way through Wednesday morning. So yeah, that's a little low. Now, the high end amount, okay, refresh. Looks like they just updated it. Let's see what we got. All right, so the high end amount. So this is the high end amount as it starts to load up. We've got 7.6. There is a 10% chance of these higher amounts coming to fruition. So that's why we're not going 8 to 12 all over the entire forecast area, because according to probabilistic outlooks, there's only like a 10% chance of hitting these 8-inch totals. And it seems a little low, but the low end amount, so a 90% chance that we get at least 1 inch, which I think is way too low. So this just basically shows your probabilistic outlooks. Now, when we look at the different exceedance probabilities, so at least 2 inches for the expected amount, we'll go at least 2 inches, the probability is going to be up there. I'm thinking, let's see, here you can see it. Expected is 3, high end is 7, low end is 1. Yeah, 85% chance of getting at least 2 inches. Look at this in Benton County, which is going to be mostly all snow, if not all snow, a 96% chance of 2 inches. Now, when we go to 4 inches, it starts dropping down. 64%, because the higher the amounts, the lower the probability. At least 6 inches, and this is why I think we need to add northern Benton and northern Carroll counties to these snow totals. And then at least 8 inches, you have a lot less. You got 12%. But the thing is that sometimes the models underdo the amount of precipitation, and so you're thinking that this is going to be, the probabilistic outlooks, they don't work well with extreme weather events, Zach. And so here's one more thing we're going to look at. This is the you've seen the winter storm severity index, and now what we're going to do with the winter storm severity index is we are going to look at the probabilistic outlooks of getting heavier snow. So this is, as of now, moderate impacts are expected. And you can see here, if we scroll down, this is a 60 to 70% chance of seeing moderate impacts, which doesn't even include us, to be honest with you, yet. Major impacts, those are pretty low. And extreme impacts doesn't even show up except for Southwest Missouri. So this is going to be mainly a moderate to major event. And then you can see moderate is definitely going to be likely. But looking at all of these probabilities, it's great, but it only works for average storms, to be honest with you, because this is one last thing we're going to look at. This is called the EFI, the Extreme Forecast Index. And you will notice that there is a bullseye of potential for heavier snow and for the models to not predict enough snow in southwest Missouri and southeast Kansas. If there is any area that's going to pick up like February 9th, 2011 snow amounts, like the big one, February 9th, 2011, it would be southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri. That's where I think the heaviest corridor of snow is going to be. And you can see the models are picking up on that. So there's nothing on Tuesday. There's Tuesday into Wednesday. So this is basically Monday night through Tuesday night. And then here is Tuesday night through Wednesday night. And you can see that it still has that potential for snow. So it's hinting that this could be significant. Now here is the temperature scales. This is just absolutely off the charts for Thursday. So Thursday morning is going to be really cold, and you can see that. And then here's that. Look at that right there. If we get a snowpack, that's insane, Zach. That's like up to basically a 100% chance that it's going to be colder than what models show in the extreme levels. That's something else. Wow. 95 to 99% probability. So, anyways, that's me geeking out for a while to show you a bunch of stuff. And do we have any comments? Sure, we got a lot of comments.
Yeah, people are just joining, want to know about timing.
Yeah, go take them through all that.
Do you think, though, before we do that, do you think we should up these totals live on the stream?
Yes. I think the 8 to 12 should be dropped south into central Benton County and into northern. Yeah, I think so. And it's going to be kind of like a slanted from northwest to southeast kind of deal. Yeah, I think so. I know the plus is a cop out, but it makes sense because there could be higher amounts. Yeah,
Covers up St. Paul.
I know. So people are asking for power outages. The only thing that would cause power outages is not going to be the snow. The snow is going to be light and fluffy, and the wind's going to blow, and it's going to knock it right off the power lines. It's not going to stick. What could be an issue, though, is the energy consumption from people trying to heat their homes, where you can get sometimes rolling blackouts and brownouts with energy companies trying to conserve power. It's a possibility. That's what happened in Texas. Hopefully not, but the demand for electricity, Zach, is going to be tremendous. And so I hope there's no power outages.
Yeah.
Still need to know the timing. Yeah, the timing is, I can tell you, it's going to start snowing Tuesday morning. I think personally around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning is when it'll begin, but it's going to crank up as we go into the afternoon hours. So before school lets out, the snow will be coming down. Yeah, there you go, about 10, 11. That's what I've always been saying is late morning. River Valley will take a little longer. but it will still happen too before school lets out. So there you go, Mandy. There's your timing. And it goes all the way through about, by the way, the winter storm watch, which will be upgraded to a warning tomorrow morning, no doubt. Is that going to be to 6 a.m. Wednesday? So that makes sense. Yeah. So a tenth of an inch of ice. Now, blizzard warnings, you got to have 35 miles an hour or greater for at least 3 hours and visibility reduced to less than a quarter of a mile. That's what makes a blizzard warning. In fact, we have that graphic, Zach.
We do.
Yeah.
Do you think that this will get expanded southward tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, there'll be a winter storm warning for us.
Yeah. So probably about 2 a.m. they'll update that.
Mm-hmm. About two to between, yeah, I think about between 3 and 4,
Yeah.
depending on when they do their forecast package.
So check
Yeah.
out that wording. All right, let me get the blizzard up.
Yeah, 6 to 10 up to 14 inches. So over, yeah, visibility less than a quarter of a mile. Now that is nearly blizzard conditions. So there's a chance that a blizzard warning gets issued. In 2011, there was a blizzard warning. It wasn't the February 9th, but it was the February 4th storm. There was a blizzard warning. Yeah. No snow tomorrow. Nothing tomorrow. Yep.
That's it.
We should change that background because that just looks like a nice little light fluffy snow. We gotta have that puppy ripping.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah,
See if we got a good background for that. I don't think so, Velva. In fact, our in our church, we got the superintendent of the Fayetteville schools, and he's like, "Man, I hope it's snowing in the morning so I can make an easy call because it's kind of tough." Oh, there we go, Zach. Yeah, that's way better. It's really jerky though. Oh yeah, there's gonna be snow on the ground Friday, Saturday. In fact, Zach, do a snow depth. Yeah, that's perfect. That's much better.
Snow depth?
Yeah, show the snow depth, how it just basically won't disappear until next week. Like, not this week, but next week. Nice, Thomas. Oh, nice shelf cloud, too. That's awesome. The reason it sounds quiet in the snow is because snow is a good natural damper of sound waves. Snowflakes will absorb sound waves. So that's why it's so cold.
Still 8 inches on the ground Thursday, 9 p.m. Snow's been over for over 24 hours.
How long does that go? That goes out a while, doesn't it? Yeah. Just go all the way to the end of the model. So finally melts by the end of the weekend.
Yeah, so the weekend, Monday. So Tuesday should be out of here. Maybe. With GFS.
Let's look at this here. Josh, I'm going to look at the discussion here because I haven't done that yet. Oh, favorite. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong one.
But I do think that this right here might even be a bigger story than the precipitation.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time that we've ever seen an extreme cold watch.
Yeah.
And extreme cold warning, and we have to update that palette unless you already did.
I haven't yet.
We have to do that tomorrow. And it gets real weird when you have to update it. It's not straightforward.
No, it's definitely going to be not.
But yeah, Tuesday evening all the way through Thursday noontime. That's and you know what? I think this will get extended even into Friday morning. Well, not the watch, but maybe a cold weather advisory for Friday morning, or maybe even a cold weather warning or extreme cold warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, people are asking, did the extreme cold watch used to be the wind chill advisory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have and they're like if it's a advisory it doesn't sound as bad. So Josh Myers said, here's the discussion. I'm going to bring it up for you. There's really not much that was added, but on Iowa State, really what the AFD did to add, Josh, is they just did a new aviation forecast. However, I'm going to add this to the stage so you can see. Yeah, we'll zoom in here. So this is what the key messages, the new short term. Go back here, get the newest one. So all they did is a new aviation, but everything else is pretty much the same. They just said right here, life-threatening cold, accumulating snow likely Tuesday into Tuesday night, especially across northeast Oklahoma, where a medium to high chance for heavy snow greater than 4 inches exists, which is why they got the winter storm watch. Life-threatening cold through Thursday. There is a high chance of extreme cold warnings across a part of the area, which I think is a given. They said right here, strong isentropic lift is expected to develop Tuesday morning and continue into Tuesday night. A heavier band of snow is expected near the Kansas Oklahoma border in the zone of the greatest lift within the dendritic growth zone. That's the deformation zone is going to open up. Moderate to major impacts are possible within the zone. The zone will likely set up north of Highway 412, with lesser amounts to the south. The precipitation will likely start as a wintry mix of rain, freezing rain, and sleet and snow, will transition to all snow. The transition will continue to take place south and east. Accumulations of ice will also be possible. Come to an end late Tuesday night. I think it comes to end Wednesday morning, honestly. The winter storm watch will likely be upgraded to a warning as we move into Monday. So it's coming. And then here is the discussion that they said high level clouds and variable winds are common, scattered broken high clouds. Model soundings indicate. So really, all they did was the new thing that they did on the discussion was just the aviation. Edward wants a snow NATO.
Oh boy. I don't want that.
Can you pull the models for the major 2011 storm? I love how people compare weather events, and I get it because we do it as well as meteorologists. But the 2011 winter storm was pretty incredible because it was pretty cold. I don't think it's as cold snowing this time Tuesday as it was when it was like 15 degrees and it was snowing. But I'll tell you what, I'll bring up some stuff here and then we'll shut this down here in just a little bit. What was pretty wild about that storm, February 9th, 2011, is there was a time on radar where there was like 40, 45 dBz, Zach, on the radar, and it wasn't snowing outside. Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty wild. That's because of that evaporative cooling.
Yeah, I was gonna say just too dry.
It was too dry. All right. I got to do Central Plains on this. 2 days. Oh, go here and go max 240. And then we'll go Central Plains. Okay. Zach, you've been crushing it all day. Do we have that live blog too?
Yeah, it's updated.
Sweet. All right. Adding this to the stage. This is the 2011 winter storm of February 9th. And it was at this point when I was watching and I was like, wow, Kansas City already, or not Kansas City, Wichita already saw 15 inches of snow when they were only expecting a couple. And so here's what happened when this developed. It just doesn't look like much. And then all of a sudden, it just exploded. See this band right here? This band developed and stayed right over us. But I'll tell you right here, look at that DBZ, Zach. It was not snowing yet. At 8Z in the morning, because I was outside and you could see the clouds lowering. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to come all the way through without snowing at all? And it was about this time that the snow started. And you can see that banding. And it didn't look super impressive, but it is moving east southeast, similar to the system that we have. But it just produced so much snow in a short amount of time. So if we go back here, we can look at the surface satellite composites, and then we can look at this, and we can look at the temperatures when it was snowing. So you'll see here, there's the front, and it was kind of like a boundary that stalled out. See the temperature? Look at that, 7 degrees with heavy snow. And then there was another boundary too. You can see the boundary kind of like hanging around. That's not going to happen this time where we have a boundary. I'm going to bring up surface reports here. And I'll show you what it was when it was snowing. So, and look at the temperature as 24 over 14. So you know that here it is. This is right here this time. 7Z. So it was early in the morning, 2 in the morning, no snow. And then all of a sudden in 1 hour, it went from 24 to 19. And there's 20. And look at that. That's heavy snow. Is it snowing at 20 degrees, Zach, with this system?
Let me look at the NAM.
Yeah. So there's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, about 9 hours it snowed, and that was it.
It's snowing when it's 16 degrees.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's cold air. You might, and remember, this is the NAM. So it's coming in.
Well, yeah, no, you have 24 in Fayetteville. I was looking at Fayetteville's temperature.
Oh, well, yeah. 25, 21. That's a pretty heavy band down there in Fort Smith at 11 p.m. Just a model, but.
Now look at this again. I'm going to add this to the stage. Look at the temperature here after the snow was over on February 10th, minus 17. The snowpack could really throw off the temperatures and make it a lot colder than what you think. It's tough to forecast minus double digits, but it's possible. Yep, that could definitely bump up the ratios, no doubt. Yeah, we could be undershooting the totals, honestly. We could. But there's also a chance that the precip doesn't develop. Is there any chance of a dry slot?
I don't know.
Here, I'll show you what the vorticity looked like, because it really wasn't a major system that came through. I'm going to go back to February 7th. Let's Let's go back to February 7th, and now let's add the vorticity so you can see it developing. So here's the system right here that's diving in, and then that was pretty strong right there. So this is the morning or the evening of February 8th, and then there's February 9th, and so it was just a lot of energy. So let's go back to our vorticity, Zach, and let's compare that.
What time is, or it doesn't matter. Hold on, let me.
You're you're not going to get Cheryl as much of a as a pressure drop like a hurricane. You'll get somewhat of a pressure drop, but you got to remember that it takes a warmer system to have big time pressure drops like a hurricane. But you can still get lows that are down to like 960, 970. Okay, let's do a side by side on this. And I'll just take my camera off here.
Hmm.
There we go. Okay, so we can bounce back and forth. Yeah, that's there's a vorticity. It's interesting. Hey, there's an ugly vorticity right there. Um, so from that to that, what do you think? Pretty similar. Go back a little bit. Go back to like in the morning, Zach. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of eerily similar. We'll see what happens. Of course, that was already what took place. So vorticity would be a great name for a hot sauce. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And we'd call it, this would be the hot sauce, positive vorticity advection, PVA. Put some PVA on that steak.
It's pretty good.
Oh, Virginia Beach, man. Snow is beginning to be the talk of the town. Hey, you know what else is really cool? I got to say this. I got to give a shout out, Zach. So, Tevin Wooten, who used to be an intern of mine, and he used to be a U of A journalism student, and then went to Florida State for meteorology. He's on the Today Show tomorrow. Not the Today Show after our show, but the early Today. So he's on from 3 to 5 in the morning, which I think is super cool. So I got it recorded. I can't wait to see what he's doing. He says he's going to give Northwest Arkansas and our area some love tomorrow
Nice.
or today in a few hours. Um, I don't think this is going to have wraparound, Shayla. That's a good question because it moves out pretty quick. And I think there's always a potential for some. But I think kind of like the 2011 storm, it'll move in and move out. That's a good question, though. Um, does the newest update come out at about 1 o'clock in the morning? You know what is new? The European is updated now. More and more of it is coming out. And let's see what it's got. Boy, that cutoff is so dramatic, Zach.
I know. Yeah.
Why does it always have to be that way?
I feel like it's always Missouri gets all the higher end winter weather events.
Here's the new European. This is the 0Z. Yep. 5 to 8 to 9. Now keep in mind, this is a Kuchera snow total. This isn't probably even the right amount. Snow depth. Yeah. That's not enough. That's pretty much trash. You miss Devin or Tevin? Tevin Wooten. I used to have a meteorologist friend too by the name of Devin Lucy. Euro shows less. Pump fake. Yep. I have to agree. I love that you guys know my terminology, Brooke. That's awesome. Pump fake. All right, guys. Zach, I think we can shut it down here in 1 hour, and it's time to get to bed. One last. Let's over the next 2 minutes. Let's show timing.
All right, let's do it. So, how about this?
Will you show me what you got?
Let's see what we got. Way up.
That's good. Notice how it could start at 8 a.m., as early as 8 a.m. Probably not the most likely. Most likely will be around 11 as it starts cranking up. But that afternoon, it's going to be snowing pretty hard and cold and windy. Hey, do those wind gusts too on the graph, not the HRRR. HRRR look like a hurricane.
Gotta fix that. That remember that's just the model.
Yeah, it drops it down to 70 and 60. I don't buy that
All right, wind,
at all.
graph, wind, wind chill.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Borderline.
That's pretty strong. Ho ho! Look at that when that shift takes place. Oh man! Look at the wind and wind gusts. Look at the wind gusts. Let's see if we get gusts. If it's a blizzard, it would be the first one ever in the history of Northwest Arkansas.
Maybe not quite there. About 25. Those winds up there in northeast Oklahoma. That could be a blizzard.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a blizzard warning for Northeast Oklahoma. I do.
So yeah, snow's coming. Gotta move that 5 to 8. Maybe I should do like arrows, or maybe not, because I have it zooming in. Or what I should do is I should do arrows and then have it fade off and then have it fade back on when I zoom in. Yeah, so these are subject to change. These will probably be updated pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm looking for something here, Zach.
But check out the models, what the models show. Up there, Rogers, 13.8 inches. Harrison, 13 as well, European. Shows some banding in the river valley. People are asking about a blizzard.
I know. A lot of people are.
I've got a graphic. We just updated it. Now, it could very well look like this Tuesday afternoon. You don't want to be out driving in that. Blizzard is 35 miles per hour for the wind or greater. Visibility quarter mile or less. Timing at least 3 consecutive hours. And the snow doesn't have to be falling. It could be blowing snow off the ground. Should we get the Canadians input in here? The GDPS.
Yeah, it's probably a really heavy snow producer.
I don't think WSI has the GDPS. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, feel free to chime in. It's live, 12:59 a.m. Late. Home cook.
Man,
I did my shopping and to put gas in the car.
I'm in trouble here.
And I wouldn't wait until, after work, last minute, to go in there and get some shopping done because it might be a madhouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Shayla, 8-ball, do you want to ask it a question? You can ask it a question because it's right here. It's been here the past 20 minutes. Oh, yeah, Monica, forget about it. School's not happening Tuesday. And if it does, it's not good.
I'm trying to figure out, man, I can't find it.
It's a possibility about the more ice than snow, at least for some parts. All right, Brooke wants to show the Canadian. I can do that real quick. I can pull it up. I'm pivotal. The Canada's global deterministic model. We can do
Ha, that's what I'm looking for. I found it.
all right. Here's the Canadian. Oh boy, yeah, it shows a heavy band right through downtown Fayetteville. 13 inches. Yeah,
Whoa.
look at that. The Canadians got the heavier stuff in Northwest Arkansas and not so much in Missouri. So just a different look. How about that? Oh, was that an 8 ball question that I saw? All right. All right. Will NWA Springdale get more than 8 inches? That's all I got. LOL. Signs point to yes. All right. It's happening. I don't know about that. Planes landing early Tuesday afternoon. I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
What is it?
I think planes will be able to land at XNA Tuesday afternoon early.
Nope.
No?
No, I don't. It's going to be snowing pretty good. I bet you there's going to be a lot of flight cancellations. Plus, the visibility will be dropping. Plus, the temperatures, ice on the wings. Nah. Nope.
You think you
It'll
think
be
they'll have the runways cleared out by like Wednesday morning?
maybe, but not if it's more and if it's cold and de-icing. I don't know. I want to show you this graphic. I finally found it, Zach. Um, so here's the number of days it's been since a blizzard warning has been issued by the office, and 4,373 days since a blizzard warning has been issued, which, by the way, just to let you know, is 11.9 years. So nearly 12 years ago. I want to say it was January of 2013 was the last blizzard warning. Pretty cool graphic, huh?
Yeah.
It's only 9 days for the Dakotas.
Huh. They're used to it.
Yeah, 24 days, 9 days, 400. But look at Springfield. Springfield might have a blizzard warning too. And look at that's 5,128 days. What was the time we got 24 inches? That would have been that was February 9th, 2011. We went through that, by the way. Hey, any new model data? Let's see here. I think the NAM 3 kilometer is coming out, the newest one. Let's see. Yep. The longer range HRRR is coming out too. Let's see. It's only 10 hours out though right now. Now 60 HRRR. No, there's no other new model data coming in. Well, I take that back. The wrap, but that doesn't go out long enough. Oh, that's trash. The HRW WRF doesn't show much snow. It only goes out 48 hours though. Yeah, it only goes out 48 hours. All right, Zach, I think it's time to wrap it up, man.
Yeah. Think so. 106.
Good night. That's it. We'll just end it.
Good night.
Good night. Just done.
I don't know should we end it with the snow totals or with the 7 day?
Yeah, snow totals, and then we'll shut it down. Have we adjusted them?
Yeah, a little bit. Have to fix it though, because I don't like how
Yeah.
how it looks. But
After all that, Brian, nah, it's not going to snow at all. Nothing.
yeah,
Nope.
nope.
Just nothing at all. All right, guys. Zach will be fixing that. I will see you in a few hours, Zach.
Yeah, I know. All right. All right. Well, that's about to do it. Everybody, have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll be back.